With the most in-depth high school football coverage in Green Country, Fox 23 presents High School Football Tonight.
It's week one, and we've got some great matchups all over the place. Two top-ranked teams going at it as Sand Springs takes on Bixby. Union trying to bounce back as they take on a good Stillwater team. And of course, our Fox 23 Game of the Week, second-ranked Jenks traveling to take on third-ranked Owasso. You're not going to want to miss this. High School Football Tonight starts now.
You're watching High School Football Tonight on TV.
Welcome, everybody. It is week one of High School Football Tonight. I'm Spencer Till. She's Kaylee Carnine. And Kaylee, we had some awesome games to kind of kick off the season tonight.
Yeah, we did. We had some huge matchups all over the state. Some really good early on this season.
That's exactly what you want to have. A good test right now. We have highlights from 18 different games, live reports from 4 of them, including, of course, the Fox 23 Game of the Week. It is a big one. Jenks squaring off against Owasso. And we had Paige Orr over there covering the game for us tonight as she joins us now live from Fieldside. And Paige, just a massive showdown from two of the best teams in the state.
That's right. I was looking forward to this game all week long, as I'm sure many others were. And let me tell you, these teams did not disappoint. Came out in the first half, looked like it was going to be all Rams. Last year, they beat out Jenks in the final semifinal game, triple overtime. And Owasso punched their ticket to state. Jenks had something else to say about that tonight. In some week one football action, the Owasso Rams hosted the Jenks Trojans. Owasso came out and made a statement. Jaden Hall direct snap takes it into the end zone for a 5-yard rushing touchdown. Owasso leads 7-0, 3:30 left in the first quarter. Now it's Jenks' turn. Quarterback Landon Kazar finds Caleb Dillard. 50-yard bomb. He runs it all the way into the house. That ties it up 7-7 and 1:25 left in the first quarter. Owasso quarterback Drew Frankenfield looking, and he finds Takari Bethel for a 10-yard touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Bethel cues up the band. Owasso leads 14-7, 17 seconds left in the first quarter. The Rams being relentless. Another direct snap to Jaden Hall. He takes this one 50 yards all the way to the house. Owasso leads 21-7, 7:14 left in the second quarter. Trying to find a solution, and they find Katie Jones for a 10-yard rushing touchdown, trying to get him going. Owasso's been trying to contain him. Owasso leads 21-14, 1:44 left in the second quarter. At the half, Owasso 21, Jenks 14. Jenks came out of the locker room a whole different team. They held the Rams scoreless. Final score 31-21. Jenks takes it home. And this is a big deal because they've lost to Owasso the past 3 seasons, and that was not the case here tonight. They got Katie Jones in his running game, got him in a good groove, and there was no looking back. 31-21, Jenks takes it home against Owasso in the Game of the Week. This is Paige Orr, Fox 23 Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Paige. What a massive win right there
I
by
know.
the Trojans. They started the year
insane.
2-0 on the other side. Owasso got some work to do now at 0-2 on the season. But you
Exactly.
played Bixby and Jenks. It's a pretty rough start to the season.
Pretty hard, yeah.
Speaking of some of our better teams, Broken Arrow also in action tonight, trying to start off the season 2-0 after picking up a very impressive win last week. And they were in a barn burner tonight, squaring off against Fayetteville. Yet another trip across the border for the Tigers. But how about this start? They were down 3-0 here in the third, but not for long. Jeremiah Statimba powering his way in from a yard out. Fayetteville, though, coming right back. All kinds of time in the pocket, and they deliver a strike right down the middle of the field. BA would eventually tie this thing up, so we would head to overtime. There, the Tigers strike first. It's Statimba again over to Peyton Lang. And all BA needs to do now is just get one stop. We get out of here with the win. 4th and goal for the Bulldogs. It's desperation. And somehow, some way, they make it work right there. And now we are just a point after away from a second overtime. But Fayetteville decides to roll the dice and go for the win. And it is heartbreak tonight for the Tigers. Broken Arrow drops this one, 18-7 the final in overtime.
Man, Claremore over in Bartlesville for a big 5A clash. Claremore getting this part of the start early. Cecile Garrett gets the short touchdown run. They go for 2 to make it 8-0 early. Bartlesville giving them an answer though. Dayton Stevens straight ahead, and he's in. Then in the second quarter, Kellen Gady, he buys himself some time. He's got all day, and Hudson Lee, he finds him. He hauls it in for the touchdown. After the half, Claremore pulling away. Garrett gets through defenders, and he's in the end zone. Claremore knocks off Bartlesville 29-20.
We are just getting started with the big matchups. There's also a massive 5A showdown going on over in Oklahoma City tonight. Second-ranked Booker T squaring off against third-ranked Del City. This is a massive matchup right here. And the Eagles, well, they are loaded again this year. Scoreless in the first, but not for long. Ricklin Holmes bounces this one to the outside, and he scrambles on in for a 7-0 lead for Del City. A few minutes after that, they were back in the red zone and looking for more. Caleb Blackwolf with just a strong run right here, able to break the plane. And it felt like the Hornets in a little bit of trouble at that point. The Eagles just kept on coming. They really dominated the ground game tonight. Blackwolf, another incredible run, bouncing off a lot of would-be tacklers, shows off the speed, as it ends up being a pretty rough game for Booker T. They're down 38-7 right now in the fourth quarter.
Man, the Battle of the Bishops over at McGinnis. McGinnis has won 4 out of the last 5 years. The coveted Shillelagh on the line. Bishop McGinnis throws into the flats, but ouch, a big hit knocks the ball loose, and the Comets recover it. Kelly using that, they turn right around and turn it into a touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown run from Wes Woody puts the Comets on top 7-0. Here's a way to open the second half, Spencer. On the return, R.J. Woody says, excuse me, let me squeeze right by you. The Comet blazes down the field. A 100-yard return makes it 17-0. Bishop Kelly, though, drops the game to my alma mater, 22-17.
All right. Chance we might see the play of the week right there.
Stay tuned.
Let's head over to Coweta. The Tigers taking on Wagner. And Coweta trying to make a statement in this thing. They're up 3-0 early on in the first, but here they come. They got a quarterback named Legend Ellis, and if your name is Legend Ellis, you got to be good at football. He finds Noah Finley right here, a 45-yard strike. Let's make it 9-0. Second quarter now. Tigers not done just yet. It's that Ellis kid again. Legend, living up to his name. He's going to find Brock Hillman right here, and then watch what the young fella does. All kinds of great blocks downfield, gets to the sideline, and Coweta gets a nice win tonight, 21-7 the final. There
you go. A big 3A battle going on in Berry Hill. The Chiefs taking on the Fort Gibson Tigers. Things getting interesting in the third, all tied up, but Fort Gibson's Kerson Davis fumbles the snap. Berry Hill's Tig Spitzer says, I'll take that, and he runs it in for a tutty. And the Chiefs take the charge. And then watch this, Berry Hill on the 25. Max Harlan hands it off to Jordan Smith. Smith says, see ya, turning on the Jets for a 75-yard touchdown. Fort Gibson trying to find a little spark, but this pass to Brody Hansen is picked off by Jarrett Norman. Berry Hill wins a thriller, 31-30.
A lot of talent out there on the backfield that night.
For sure.
All right, we're going to take our first commercial break, but we got plenty more to get to. We're going to head over to Union and see if the Redhawks could bounce back against Stillwater. Keep it right here. Welcome back. Well, it's still very early on in this season, but after Union dropped their season opener, it felt like tonight was a pretty big ball game for them.
No, definitely. There's non-conference games, but it just feels like to build some confidence there, this is a really important game for them. Fox 23's Devin Lyon was over at Union tonight covering the game for us and joins us now live. And Devin, this was another good test for the Redhawks.
Yeah, guys, this game between Union and Stillwater had a lot of explosive plays, keeping it really close for that first half. Here's a look at how things ended up. Starting things off right with an F-16 flyover. It was the second game back at Tuttle Stadium and a second career game for head coach Antonio Graham, looking to come back after last week's loss. The Redhawks the first to score with senior Tavion Perry taking it all the way to the house. 60-yard touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Union up 8-0. Union would hold that lead until the start of the second quarter. The Pioneers would close the gap with a touchdown off the QB keeper from number 11's Tank Taptoe. 2-point conversion, no good. Redhawks still up 8-6. Stillwater would score one more time before the end of the half off this pass from Taptoe to Bradford Mitchell. Redhawks trail at the half, 8-13. Second half would be almost all Stillwater. The Redhawks finding the end zone once more. Final score, Stillwater taking the win 41-15. Now Union will be on the road for their next game, looking for their win. They're taking on the Trojans at Jenks September 12th. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Well, another surprising game right there. Appreciate it, Dean. Well, let's keep it moving and head on down to Muskogee, where Hilldale hit the field tonight in their season opener and taking on Edison. The home fans fired up for this one, and the Hornets coming ready to play. Eagles trying to make something happen here on offense as Cam Stevenson takes a shot downfield. But check out Dawson Fields right here, picking that one off, and we are going to go the other way. A few plays later, Hilldale cashes in off the turnover. Brady Scott gets it, gets to the outside, and goes on in for the score. Hilldale rolls to the win, 44-21.
Here's another good one up the road in Pryor. The Tigers taking on Catoosa. Braden Ward connects with Tyler Ballou. Ballou bolts into the end zone for an 11-yard touchdown, and Pryor takes the lead. A couple minutes later, and it's the dynamic duo again, Ward to Ballou. He takes it 42 yards this time to the house, just jogging into the end zone at the end. And Pryor just had all the momentum. Jason Parks making this one look like a walk in the park. He gets through some traffic, and he's also in. Pryor wins big, 56-7.
Not a bad showing right there. Well, we had some powerhouse top-ranked teams in the 3A going at it tonight. Lincoln Christian, the #1 team, squaring off against Heritage Hall. It is always fun when these two play each other.
No, for sure. They've had a very long history of competing against each other.
A lot of rivalries going on there, and we are actually got an opportunity to go out there and have a live report for you as Jade Morrow stands by right now. And Jade, just another impressive performance tonight by Lincoln Christian.
That's right, Spencer. These two powerhouses are ranked top 3 in the 3A class. Lincoln Christian at #1 and Heritage Hall at #2. Now, like you said, these two have a very, very long history of competing against each other. And this game was like a state game rematch, facing off for the 4th time in under 2 years.
Lincoln Christian #1 and Heritage Hall #2 in the 3A class going head-to-head in week 2. In the first quarter, Heritage Hall #14, Hudson Ferris snaps the ball. He's looking but can't make a pick fast enough. #52, Bulldog, Lincoln Torres makes a quick sack. Now the Bulldogs are looking for an opportunity to score with 3 minutes left. #8 makes the transfer to #12, Braden Baker, and he takes a touchdown home for the Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead. In the second, they're looking for another opportunity after the Chargers scored. Hunter Rick makes a pass to #11, CJ Wright. He turns on his jets to make it around the Chargers and brings a touchdown home for the Bulldogs. But watch this. CJ gets the ball again, and look at the speed. He even breaks out the skilled Chargers holes and brings another one home for the Bulldogs, and the kick is good for a lead score of 21-6 in the first half.
Now, this game was a very close one in the first quarter, but Lincoln Christian took advantage going into the second quarter and half and taking the game home with a final score of 35-6. Now, Lincoln Christian will be taking the road to Arkansas to go against the Shiloh Christian Saints. Live in Tulsa, covering news that matters. I'm Jade Morrow, Fox 23 Sports.
Thank you, Jade. Well, let's keep this thing rolling on head over to Oologah, where they had a matchup against 5th-ranked Collinsville tonight. Cardinals coming out strong. Austin Boren is going to be in at quarterback. He's going to get an opportunity to show out a little bit as he's going to take the snap eventually. Calls his own number and gets a little 10-yard score. Collinsville with an early 6-0 lead. Now the Mustangs would have an opportunity to try and answer going the other way, though. Their quarterback, Grady Vogel, has had a pretty good start to his career and looking downfield in this thing, but eventually he's going to get picked off right here by Ben Daniels. Just a great defensive play right there, getting it at the 2-yard line. That is a huge momentum swing as the Cardinals would march all the way the other way before eventually Scott Rigby would power one in as Collinsville would go on to shut out Oologah tonight, 34-0 the final.
Cassia Hall taking on the reigning Class A champs for Joyce Christian. Here in the third quarter, Cash's Dustin McBride goes 15 yards and in the end zone to extend the Commandos' lead to 13. And then here he is again, fighting his way to the first down. He rushes it 8 yards up the field to Rejoice's 45-yard line. But Rejoice trying to catch up. Cam Compton narrow rolls right and finds Neil Leber for a little 5-yard pickup. Close game tonight, but Cassia Hall gets the win, 21-14 the final.
And we also had Skiatook in action tonight. They were in a pretty good matchup, and well, Devin Bailey trying to make some plays for his team comes flying in with a massive hit, laying the lumber right there. Skiatook would have an early 7-0 lead by the third quarter, though. Glenpool trying to make something happen. Mark Matta with a 49-yard touchdown pass over to Devin Bailey. That would make it 7-7. To the fourth quarter we go. Skiatook now with an opportunity to try and make something happen, get the win here, and it's going to be Cole Bray with a 9-yard touchdown pass over to Mason Brunch. And well, that was about all it was going to take as Skiatook eventually knocks off Glenpool 14-7 your final.
That was a close one. Here in the first quarter, Sapulpa taking on Tahlequah, my bad. Here, Brady Sprutton, 46-yard pass to wide receiver, 17-yard touchdown, 7-0 Sapulpa early. And in the third quarter, Sapulpa's got the ball again. Braddock's brought QB Keith.
Going to have an opportunity to try and make something. Gets rushed from the pocket, and sometimes that's how a QB Keith happens. Breaking some tackles, though.
There you go.
Okay, maybe I spoke too early on the play of the week right there. That ain't bad getting the first down.
Second quarter, Tahlequah ball with Talbert, 45-yard pass to Michael Torkinson, touchdown, 7-7. Sapulpa pulls away to get the win, 24-14.
Pretty nice job right there by Sapulpa. Well, how about Will Rogers? The Ropers taking on Hall tonight, and the Dutch trying to start their season off 2-0. This is going to help. Trey Burleson going deep, and he finds Roman LePac right there, a 37-yard strike, made it 14-0. Late in the first half, Hall in the red zone looking for more. Rhett Gibson walks in off the left side right there. Dutch crew shutout victory, 47-0 the win.
Over in Inola tonight, the debut of their brand new field. The Longhorns taking on Adair. On Adair's opening drive, Inola's defense gets a stop, setting up a field goal, and the Longhorns light up their new scoreboard first. Second quarter, and it's Inola again. This time, Jenneretz hands it off to Jace Kent, and he breaks a tackle here. Breaks one there, somehow stays on his feet and takes it all the way into the end zone. Inola up 10-0 early, but the Longhorns lose a close one in the debut of their new field. Adair wins this one 34-27.
All right, we've got to take another quick commercial break, but coming up on the other side, we're going to have our plays of the week. You're not going to want to miss this.
Me and Barry Lewis are about to break down some football games across Green Country. He's the Tulsa World's guy. Stick around to hear from him.
You're watching high school football tonight on FOX23
News. Well, we had a lot of great matchups going on tonight, including a matchup of two #1 ranked teams going on over at Sand Springs. The Sandites were taking on Bixby. Ian is out there right now, and he joins us live from the field, our very own FOX23 reporter. And Ian, just a massive showdown for two big teams.
Yeah, I mean, Bixby, 10 state championships. Sand Springs brings in some of the best offense in the state, but it's Bixby. They're a buzzsaw, and you can see why in this package.
It's a battle of #1 teams. The Bixby Spartans, the #1 team in 6A1, against the Sand Springs Sandites, the #1 team in 6A2. Second play of the game, Easton Webb dropping back, and he's going to find a Bixby Spartan. That is Tyler Wright right there. You're going to see a lot of him in this highlight package, and for good reason. There's Coach Montgomery there. He's looking for a state title, number 11. Next play, Carter Bell gets in without the helmet, shades of Jason Wynn, and the Bixby Spartans lead 13-0. These kids don't care, they're just here to have a good time. Next up, Easton Webb looking, firing, right into the hands of Tyler Wright. The price is right, and he's going to go into the end zone. Pick six, #1, interception #2 for Tyler Wright. In the words of Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. Webb trying to go for his first touchdown for the Sandites. And it's picked off by Tyler Wright again. And he's going to go coast to coast all the way 100 yards for pick six number 2 off of interception number 3.
The OSU commit Presley also had an interception of his own. The final score, 56-7 in favor of Bixby. Sand Springs starts off the season 0-1. They take on Owasso next week, and Bixby will take on the 6A2 defending champion, the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, back at Bixby. Covering sports that matter, I'm Ian Nickel, Fox 23 Sports.
Thank you, Ian. Well, there's also one more thing we got to get to. We get a chance to talk with Barry Lewis from the Tulsa World as we break down some of the big games tonight. Paige, obviously, we got a lot to talk about with that game you guys had over there.
That's right. Here we are at Owasso. Things are wrapping up here. Let's talk about this game. Owasso and Jenks. What was the big story? Do you think it was the running backs?
It was the running backs, especially Katie Jones for Jenks in the second half. But I think even bigger than that was the fake punt that backfired on Owasso late in the first half. Owasso had all the momentum at that time. Owasso was leading 21-7, and they took a gamble looking for a knockout punch, and instead they were the ones that wound up getting knocked out eventually.
That's right. They left the door open. It was 21-14 at half, and then they go scoreless in the second. What can you tell me about this Jenks team when they came out of the locker room?
Well, they probably remembered that they'd lost 3 in a row to Owasso, so they wanted to avenge those, especially a triple overtime loss in last year's semifinals. But it was pretty simple game plan in the second half for Jenks. It was throw an occasional pass, but primarily give the ball to the state's best running back, Katie Jones, and he took advantage. He had 34 carries on the night, 160 yards. He had 22 carries in the second half alone, and they just basically played keep away from Owasso.
That's right. Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's kind of what they ran with there. Now let's talk about the Union game. Union Stillwater, and Union drops another one. What's that look like for them?
Well, it's got to be a great concern, not necessarily that they lost to Stillwater. Stillwater's a really good team, and Stillwater had beaten Union last year. Some people thought that might have been a fluke. Not a fluke. Stillwater comes over to Union, and I am stunned that it was a 4-touchdown loss for Union. Did not expect that. Union's got a lot of things to figure out in a short time because it's not going to get any easier next week as they play in the Backyard Bowl at Jenks.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty great matchup. I'll be looking forward to it. Barry, thank you so much for coming out and talking with us. That's all we have from here out of Owasso. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Paige and Barry. Unfortunately, that is all the time we got for you tonight, but thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all back here same time next week.